Welcome back, rankers. Had an interesting day yesterday. I wrote this post yesterday morning on jimboot.com. Now, jimboot.com is just my site for putting up blog posts about stuff that I don't really want to put on stuartmedia.biz. It has got some SEO stuff, but there's a lot of other nonsense up there as well. This particular post was about the Twitter election, and it was in response to an article written by Tim Burrows over at mumbrella.com.au, who had a post called The Twitter Election. Now, this particular site has had nothing done to it in the way of SEO, really, except for tags and categories. But I haven't been backlinking to it, well, except through YouTube and Twitter. But apart from YouTube, Twitter, backlinks, and using my keywords throughout the site, and setting up webmaster tools and Google Analytics, nothing's been done. However, and whilst that might sound a lot that's been done, it's not really. I'm the only one in the company working on this site, so I haven't had time to go through and do all the right link instructions and all those sorts of things. But what struck me about this post is that half an hour after I published it, it went to number 5 in Google. Now, it got about 3 or 4 retweets after I did the post, and the interesting thing for me wasn't only how fast it was indexed, but that it was ranked. The competition that it was up against, now at the moment I've done the search this morning, and it ranks down here number 9, but about 1 or 2 hours after it went to number 5 in Google for that phrase, the Twitter election, it then went up to number 3 because it started to get comments. Well, I'm thinking it went to number 3 because it started to get comments, or it got a few more retweets. But then about an hour after that, this annoying bloke, where is he? Rene Lemay, oh, there he is, who is a journo and writes a lot of great articles. And he wrote a story also about the Twitter election. And what happened was, I'll just find Rene, there's Rene here. And what happened was, Rene's main site is, I think, is delimited.com.au, this story down here. But that same story gets syndicated out at multiple properties. Now, I don't know if these 3 properties here are the only ones where it gets syndicated out, but certainly ITWire, ZDNet and delimited.com.au all have the exact same story. So where's the duplicate content penalty? Well, there's always been this myth about some sort of penalty if you're using duplicate content. What it's really about is well, this is what it used to be about before Google Caffeine. When Google finds a piece of unique content, if yours is the first time it finds that piece of unique content, usually it will get ranked higher than other pieces of content, everything else being equal, right? However, in this particular case, we've got 3 articles that are exactly the same. So it really doesn't add any more value to the searcher by getting those 3 listings. Now, this also reminds me of a tweet that Darren Rouse, pro blogger, tweeted out a couple of weeks ago, saying that he just Googled the title of his latest blog post and he found 8,000 duplicate entries. Now, my initial reaction was, well, perhaps those pages are significantly different from one another, other than just that one blog post from Darren Rouse. Maybe there's more posts on the page down below. So the duplication of those pieces of content, maybe it's only at 50 or 60% duplication once you take into account the rest of the content on the page. Darren said, no, that's not really the case. So what we think we're seeing here is caffeine in action. For the Google bot to come out and index a page half an hour after the post went live on a site that really hasn't had a lot of SEO love is quite extraordinary in my experience. And what else is happening here is that we're getting this duplicated content for particular phrases or popular phrases. So I don't think that's very helpful for the user seeing that many duplications. But also it is this struggle of Google trying to provide the most live, up-to-date content, because let's face it, Twitter pushed them into that position because Twitter is, in essence, the live web. And Google's now using Caffeine to make sure it tries to index everything as quickly as it possibly can. I would have expected at least one of these duplicate stories to have dropped a bit in the rankings. But the source of the story, which was Delimiter, ranks lower than the ones above it, which were which I saw appear after this Delimiter article originally appeared. So caffeine is very much in action. What this tells me is that you better have a regular content update strategy, because Google's hungry. The Google bot wants your content. And we were also hypothesizing that maybe if this post gets a couple of comments, it will go higher in the rankings. Well, as you can see here, it actually got a heap of comments. It got a lot of comments. I upset a few people. I know, surprising. But that didn't help really its ranking at all. And when you think about it, my comment at the time in the office was, well, it went up after it initially got a few more comments, but that didn't make sense to me because the content overall was diluted because there are a lot more words on the page. It kept getting comments throughout the day and it kept dropping. So to me, there is a signal there that says, well, jimboot.com is not that an authoritative of site yet because it's so young. Delimiter has been around a lot longer, as has ITWire, as has ZDNet. So that's why my site dropped, but I still am searching for a logic to have 3 articles that are exactly the same that really don't give the user any other perspective if they go and visit each one of those articles. That's the thing to watch over the coming weeks and months to see how Google Caffeine evolves. But one thing is for certain, make sure you update regularly and make sure all the structures around your site are easily viewed by Google, that it can crawl the links, that you have good sitemaps and all those other things. I'd love to know if you're seeing some duplicate content that you originally posted that's now been duplicated on other sites that's ranking for the same page title as the piece of content that you originally created. And that's it for this week's show. See you next week. Thanks. Bye.